The story opens on a cold, overcast morning in a truck stop somewhere in the vast open plains of Texas. The skies are gray, reflecting the somber mood of Sam Carter as he sips his coffee inside the diner. The camera pans over the numerous mementos that fill the dashboard of his truck, each a relic of a life spent on the road. A faded photograph of his wife, a dog-eared map, and a small rusted toy truck that once belonged to his son. Sam is a man worn down by the miles and the memories. As he prepares for his final route, the weight of his impending retirement is palpable. He feels an uneasy mixture of relief and dread, knowing that once this last trip is over, he will have to face the ghosts that haunt him off the road. His destination is a remote warehouse in the mountains, a place he's never been before. The dispatcher's voice crackles over the CB radio, reminding him of the cargo's urgency. As Sam sets off, the familiar hum of the engine and the monotonous stretch of highway bring a sense of calm. But as the miles pass and the landscape around him begins to change, he notices the road ahead becoming unfamiliar. The truck's GPS loses signal, and the radio plays static. The paved highway gives way to a narrow, winding road surrounded by dense, looming forests that seem to swallow the light. The sense of isolation grows stronger, and Sam realizes he's taken a wrong turn, but turning B. As the road narrows further, the trees on either side grow closer and denser, their branches forming an almost impenetrable canopy overhead. The sunlight dims, casting eerie shadows that dance across the truck's windshield. Sam checks his map and finds it useless. The roads he sees on it don't match the path ahead. He tries the radio again, but it's nothing but static. He drives deeper into the forest, feeling an increasing sense of unease. The environment seems to change subtly around him. The air grows colder and the light fades until it's almost twilight, despite being midday. The road becomes rough, full of potholes and cracks, forcing Sam to slow down. Strange shapes move in the trees, just out of sight, and he starts to feel like he's being watched. Suddenly, Sam spots a figure standing on the side of the road ahead. It's a young boy, dressed in an old-fashioned manner, staring at him with hollow, dark eyes. Sam slams on the brakes, but as he approaches, the boy disappears. Confused and unnerved, he continues driving, but now he feels the oppressive weight of the supernatural all around him. The truck's engine starts to sputter, and Sam hears strange noises coming from under the hood. He pulls over to the side of the road and steps out, the cold air biting at his skin. He opens the hood and checks the engine, but everything seems normal. As he's about to close it, he hears the unmistakable sound of a child's laughter echoing through the trees. Sam spins around, searching for the source, but sees nothing. The laughter turns into whispers, unintelligible, but full of malice. Shaken, Sam gets back into the truck and drives on. The road twists and turns, taking him deeper into the wilderness. The memories of his past begin to surface unbidden, haunting his thoughts. He recalls the night of his son's death, the phone call that shattered his life, and the overwhelming guilt that he couldn't protect his family. The road ahead becomes a metaphorical journey through his darkest memories. As he drives, the landscape outside the truck shifts impossibly, morphing into scenes from his past. He sees his old family home, abandoned and decaying, the windows dark and lifeless. He sees his wife, Ellen, standing on the porch, her face a mask of sorrow. He passes by a cemetery, and the gravestones bear the names of people he once knew, including his own. The world outside his truck becomes a nightmarish blend of reality and memory, where time and space have no meaning. Sam's mind begins to unravel as the line between the past and present blurs. He sees more figures on the side of the road: his mother, who died when he was a boy, his old friends from the trucking days, and even the dispatcher who sent him on this final route, all staring at him with accusing eyes. These apparitions don't speak, but their presence is heavy with judgment. In the midst of this surreal journey, Sam comes across a dilapidated old gas station. The lights flicker dimly, and the sign creaks in the wind. He pulls in, hoping to find some answers or at least regain his bearings. The place is deserted, but he notices an old man sitting behind the counter, reading a newspaper. The old man, who seems eerily familiar, looks up as Sam enters. "You're lost, aren't you?" he asks with a knowing smile. Sam, too tired and disturbed to argue, simply nods. The old man offers cryptic advice, hinting that the road he's on is one that many have traveled, but few have returned from. He warns Sam to be careful, as the road will reveal things that were meant to stay hidden. Sam fills up the truck's tank, the old man's words lingering in his mind. When he looks back to pay, the man is gone, replaced by a dusty, empty counter. Confused and unnerved, Sam returns to his truck and continues on, the road growing darker and more treacherous. The journey reaches its peak when Sam encounters a thick fog that envelops the road, reducing visibility to almost nothing. He slows the truck to a crawl, straining to see the road ahead. The fog seems alive, swirling with shadows and whispers. The truck's headlights barely penetrate the murk, casting ghostly beams into the void. Suddenly, the truck's headlights illuminate a figure standing in the middle of the road. It's his son, Jason, looking exactly as he did the day he died. Sam slams on the brakes, skidding to a stop just inches away from the apparition. Heart pounding, he stares at the figure, unable to move. Jason's eyes are empty, void of life, but his expression is one of deep sadness. Sam's breath catches in his throat as Jason's voice, soft and distant, echoes through the cab. "Why did you leave me, Dad?" the boy asks, his voice filled with the pain of abandonment. Sam is overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow, tears streaming down his face. He tries to speak, but no words come out. The fog thickens, and more figures emerge from it. His wife, Ellen, his parents, and friends long gone. They surround the truck, their expressions accusing and mournful. The voices blend into a cacophony of regret and blame, bombarding Sam from all sides. He clutches the steering wheel, paralyzed by the weight of his past mistakes. In a moment of clarity, Sam realizes that the road he's on is leading him to a final reckoning. He knows he can't outrun his past any longer. With a surge of resolve, he steps out of the truck and faces the apparitions. The cold, damp air bites at him, and the whispers grow louder, almost unbearable. Sam confronts each figure, confessing his regrets and pleading for forgiveness. To his son, he apologizes for not being there, for letting his job take him away from his family. To his wife, he expresses his deep sorrow for not being able to save her. The figures remain silent, their expressions slowly softening as Sam bares his soul. The fog begins to lift, and the figures fade away, leaving Sam alone on the deserted road. The silence is deafening, and for the first time, Sam feels an overwhelming sense of peace. He knows that he has faced his demons, but he also understands that there's no turning back. The road ahead is clear now, the fog completely dissipated. The landscape has changed once more, now resembling a barren wasteland under a dark, starless sky. Sam gets back into his truck, feeling lighter, yet more resigned than before. He knows that this journey is nearing its end. As he drives, the truck's engine hums steadily, and the road stretches out infinitely before him. He sees a light in the distance, growing brighter as he approaches. It's a tunnel, and he instinctively knows that it's the final destination. The light is warm and inviting, in stark contrast to the cold, eerie landscape. Sam drives into the tunnel, the light engulfing him. The world around him fades to white, and he feels a sense of release, as if the weight of his entire life has been lifted from his shoulders. The truck rumbles on, but Sam knows he's not really driving anymore. The light consumes everything, leaving only a sense of peace and acceptance. In the end, Sam's truck emerges from the other side of the tunnel, but it's empty. The road stretches on, but there's no one left to drive it. The camera pulls back, showing the truck disappearing into the horizon, leaving behind the haunted memories and regrets that once burdened Sam Carter.